What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eye Bri, also known as PT. You don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about the Walking Dead World Beyond Season 1, Episode 5 review, recap, breakdown, discussion, all those things. So obviously, spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead. That's the Walking Dead, World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead, everything related to the Walking Dead universe. Spoiler warning. But man, this episode, Season 1, Episode 5, did not do anything to help the cause of this show. It starts off with a group walking down a path. They find this signs for Daiquiri Town and they look at it, and Elton takes a picture. And there's some lady talking about nature takes over and the guys and this. And I think it's Elton's mom. We're not really sure who exactly it is, but Elton, the group, they're walking down. The kids are having a good time. They're talking about things. Silas talks about his grandpa used to listen to punk. And there's just, a nice conversation. Elton's in the back, followed by Felix, and then Elton looks back, and Felix is basically still wanting Elton to convince the kids to go back to the campus colony, and that's kind of what this episode's about. And it doesn't really progress at all. The kids go to the river, well, they go to Daiquiri Town, and it's a pretty big disappointment. But they go to the bridge here, and it reminds me a lot of I Am Legend when they knocked out one of the bridges, but ultimately they can't go over the bridge, they have to use one of the boats. But there aren't any boats, and they have to make one. And after they go to a warehouse and get a bunch of different things, they come up with a plan to use the barrels and some pallets and wood, and they make a boat, or like a raft, and it's like a Huck fin style. Get it? Huck fin? Anyone? But ultimately they make a boat, and that's a big part of the episode. Elton is still trying to be recruited by Felix, because Felix and Huck still think it's the best interest of the group to go back to the campus colony, even though the kids want to go forward. Now the episode focuses a lot on the Elton backstory. Yeah, I think every episode so far we got one of the different backstories. Elton's dad, Isaac, their mother, they talk about things. And it's kind of interesting, but it's not that interesting. They build a boat, a raft, it breaks down, they run into some problems. The kids argue with Felix and Huck because Huck and Felix are all about taking them back. The kids don't want to do that. Felix recruited Elton. The kids find out about it. Hope's like, yeah, well, what are you trying to do here? Felix is like, I'm trying to keep you safe. And Hope's like, well, why are you trying to be shady about it? Why can't you just be upfront about it? Why can't you just do this? Why can't you just do that? And there's a big fight. It's just kind of teenage drama with your parents, basically, is what it is. The Elton backstory is kind of the interesting part, especially at the end. We'll talk about that at the end. But Hope and Huck are kind of still trying to bond. You find out about Huck's backstory a little bit. Doesn't go into too much about it, but she floated down the Mississippi on a boat, I guess. Something broke down. We didn't find out exactly, but she gets picked up by people and then she's saved. But you still find out that Hope and Huck are bonding together. Huck is definitely a character that is looking out for Hope, and she comes up with the idea like maybe it's better if we split up. And they don't ultimately do that, but it's a plan that they try to put into play. But basically, Hope and Huck, Iris and Felix, and Elton and Silas, they all kind of split up for different parts to try to get the raft running. It's one part that's pretty funny. It's pretty laughable. It's not like funny. It's kind of what The Walking Dead has turned into. Far-fetched, cheesy, over-the-top things here. So when you're watching it, if you haven't seen it already, but when you watch it, you'll see the part I'm talking about. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But Iris and Silas are walking and they get some supplies like rope and stuff. And they talk about Dr. Bennett, and they talked about, is Will safe? They got to be safe because Felix was supposed to go with Dr. Bennett, but Will went instead. And they go back towards the Daiquiri town, and when they're walking, a storm is coming. But it's like nice and clear during the day. It's not cloudy, it's not bad, it's not like a big storm is coming, but you hear the thunder and the lightning. And Iris says, what is that? My fingers are tingling, or something like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, lightning strikes this pole. The pole falls into the Daiquiri town, and it reminded me a lot of Fear the Walking Dead when this lightning goes and just electrocutes this guy. It zaps this guy. It comes out of nowhere. It's just laughable. It's cheesy. And what has happened to the Daiquiri town? The door, boop, just opens. And what comes out? You guessed it, a bunch of walkers that have been inside there. And they're like, and they're coming towards the group, and they're walking around there too. And of course, because Elton and Silas went back to the warehouse to get the nail polish that's flammable, because they have to get the fire for the raft to burn better or just burn more. And so they bring this flammable nail polish back, and Elton falls. Some of the nail polish gets onto the ground. Silas picks him up, And Elton's like, look, I didn't do that on purpose, because there's still the question of, is Elton trying to sabotage the boat so our group has to go back home? And Iris pours the flammable nail polish in there. The flame comes up, the thing spins, and it's great, and then it breaks down. And then Elton's got to step up in a little bit. But I'll talk about Elton's backstory a little bit more. So we find out that Elton was with his dad and his mom, and then his mom got called away, and that's why I think she was on the airplane. But Elton, when he was a little kid right there, was put into this box, and that's why he's claustrophobic. His dad put him in the box to be safe. He locked the door from the outside, and he was there and heard the zombies and the gunfire and stuff breaking down. And he's a little kid, so he's upset, he's scared. You know, it's not normal to be in this circumstance. But since the raft broke down, and the only one small enough to fit in between the crevice there is Elton. And he works on his claustrophobia, and he saves the day, and the raft is saved, and they can get it running again. And they use the raft to get away, but not for drama, you know. But we also find out about the Triceratops horn was given to him by his dad. And if whoever holds the horn will be safe. That's what Elton's dad, Isaac, was saying to him. And I'm sure it was something just to comfort young Elton. But who has the horn? Iris, after Elton put it on the training S pole. So, is there anything to that? We'll have to see. But the walkers come from the Daiquiri town towards the raft, and Felix is taking them down, uses the fishing pole line around the trees to block the walkers a little bit. And Iris and Hope help Felix take down the walkers. They're pushing the raft. It's not working. Felix comes by with a piece of wood, digs into the ground, and then they help push the raft into the water. It's real dramatic with all the walkers around them, you know. Nothing can be easy on The Walking Dead. They've got their walkers in there. Are they going to make it out? Everybody makes it out. No one dies. The walkers go into the water, and they just go fall, and they face plant. They belly flop into the water. It's kind of funny. And there's the raft going away. Day turns to night, and we see everybody talk, and everybody's safe. And Felix talks with Hope, and they talk about, you know, Felix. You know, it's kind of emotional. Hope and Felix. You find out that Felix was brought into the family by Dr. Bennett, and you learn a little bit about it. Hope kind of felt like Felix didn't see the girls as his sisters. He just saw them as their problems. But everybody makes up. Everybody's good. It's a good, nice thing. And Huck decides that she needs to go out, get some intel, go ahead, see what it is, see the area. So she leaves the group in the middle of the night, which I wouldn't say is the smartest thing, but, you know, this is the Walking Dead universe lately. They do stuff like this. So Huck says, I'm going to leave. So we're not sure if we're going to see her next episode or not, but everybody's by the fire and they're just hanging out. Huck leaves and says, look, it'll take 48 hours at the most, but she leaves the group. And everybody's by the fire, and Elton goes and sits, you know, a little away from the fire, by the group, but in some grass. And he thinks about his family, his mom, his unborn baby sister, Esmeralda, that's who he called her, his dad, and he just remembers things of being in the box and the sounds, and it's traumatic for him, and it's, you know, kind of sad. And he's got his Triceratops horn there. There's the flashback, and you see he's in the box, and he's in there for a while. We don't know how long he's in there for, but there's multiple flashbacks there and multiple scenes. And if you can, guys, please hit that subscribe button. Help us achieve that goal of 100,000 subscribers. If you like what we do here at the BT channel, we would appreciate the support. But Elton gets out of the box and comes out and sees this walker. Well, dead walker. And he's missing legs, and it's kind of crazy. He leaves the office, and he doesn't freak out. And I'm guessing that's his dad, but he looks around the hallway, and I thought this was interesting. The fragile box is upside down. And I know that people that don't believe in symbolism in movies and shows would be like, yeah, of course, it was chaos in there. Stuff got flipped upside down. But I see this symbolism. How about you? But young Elton grabs a little messenger bag, puts his Triceratops horn in there, and then goes outside from the Natural History Museum, probably where his dad worked. Predator and Prey, pretty symbolic there too. He picks up one of the flyers that have been all over the street. Public alert, evacuation, NSU campus, and the path to get there. I guess the red dot is where they are now. And you see NSU is Nebraska State University. Elton most likely goes there, and that's the origin story of Elton since day one of the zombie apocalypse, where Elton was in Nebraska. So I think that's the backstory of Elton before he met the group and everything there. But Hope comes over to Elton, and Elton was writing in the memoir or story that his mom wrote. And Elton and Hope talk, and Elton says, I know it's crazy, it's 1 in a billion shot or whatever he says. And he says that I still think that my mom and my sister could be out there somewhere. And he opens to a different page in the book, and then boom, there's the picture. It just looks like a weird picture, by the way. It looks kind of like a mugshot. But Hope looks at the photo, and she knows who that person is. It's very clear that Hope recognizes this woman as the woman that she shot the night the sky fell. So Hope knows now that she killed Elton's mom, and Elton's mom killed her mom. So two wrongs don't make a right. Hope doesn't say anything. We see something, it's some noise like somebody's walking in the woods. Is it a walker and empty? Nope, it's some strange person here. It's not the best picture here, but it's a person holding a stick, and that's how the episode ends. If you like what we're doing here, guys, and you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Liking the video is an easy way to help support the channel. So, review, recap. Not much happened. They really didn't progress the story at all. It was more of an Elton backstory episode. No CRM, no connection with Rick. Hope knows about Elton's mom. So it was a 47 minute long episode that not a lot happened in those 47 minutes, but stuff happened. So overall, this is the midway point of the season. It was season 1, episode 5 of 10 episodes this season. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Stay safe and tell them, Daryl.
No, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.